Hello and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I actually want to go over how much it costs to live in a tourer caravan, and that is living in a tourer caravan full time, which me and my boyfriend James have been doing for 1 year now. This is actually going to be like our experience, because how much you pay probably depends on the site that you're living on. This video is actually going to be how much it costs us to live in a tourer caravan, and I'm actually going to compare it to how much we paid when we privately rented a 2-bedroom maisonette or flat or whatever you want to call it. And if you see me glancing up and down here, it's because I have got the numbers in front of me. I had to do calculations for this video. The effort I put in. I'm kidding. So I will be looking at the numbers in front of me. If you see me looking around on my windscreen, it's because there are wasps all over my windscreen. I say all over, that's a bit dramatic, but there's like 5 wasps crawling all over my windscreen and it's creeping me out. Like, it's freaking me the F out. Let's start with when we privately rented a 2-bedroom maisonette or flat or whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to include food because I feel like with a grocery shop that can kind of fluctuate every month depending on how much you need, so I'm not going to include the food. I'm actually just going to go with like the main costs of living in the property. So rent, council tax, gas, electric, water. I'm not going to talk about TV license because we didn't actually pay TV license when we were living in the flat. Actually, that is a lie. We did, but we didn't. So James's mum actually bought it for us as like a housewarming gift, and then every time that it needed to be renewed, she kind of just never changed it out of her name, so just continued to pay the TV license for us. So technically we didn't pay TV license, but it was paid for, if that makes sense. So for rent, we paid £795 a month. For council tax, we paid around £150 a month. But as we all know, council tax increases every year. So that is just the number that has stuck into my head. Gas and electric, we paid for together, like combined. We paid £70 a month. 30 was for gas and 40 was for electric. And then for water, we paid £40 a month. Now moving on to the tourer caravan. So the rent is not for the caravan. James actually bought the tourer caravan. It is his, he owns it. The rent is to pay the landowner for being on his land. So for kind of like the plot that our caravan is on. The rent includes water. So rent plus water is £77 a week, which we pay monthly. So let's talk monthly. It is £334 a month, which is less than half of what we paid in the maisonette. So in the maisonette, the rent, which was £795 a month, plus the water, which was £40 a month, is £1,035 a month. In the caravan, we only pay £334 a month for both rent and water, so less than half of what we paid before. For council tax, we don't pay anything. Zero, zilch. We do not pay council tax. Now, you need to do your research because I think you are supposed to pay council tax. However, the landowner of the campsite that we live on found like a gap in the clause. For gas, we have a gas bottle. So we only turn our gas on when we need to heat up the water for a shower, which takes around 10 to 15 minutes. As soon as we have finished in the shower, we turn off the gas. That means that our gas bottle lasts us 6 months. It costs £70 for a bottle, but we only have to buy a new bottle every 6 months. So twice a year. That's £140 in a year. So if we look back to when we were living in a 2-bedroom maisonette, the gas cost us £30 a month, which was £360 a year. Now we only pay £140 a year, so less than half again. For electric, we actually have a meter. So we are hooked up onto like a meter and we have an electric card. So every time we want to put money onto that card because we need more electric, we send a WhatsApp to the groundskeeper. We say how much we would like on it and she pops it onto our card. We then stick it into the meter. Bob's your uncle. We've got our electric. So we pay £80 a month on electric. Now this does increase when it gets to the winter and it's cold. We have to use our electric heater. We then pay around £120 to £140 a month. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to call it £80 a month. Because even when we are paying more in the winter, it's only for around 2 months, maybe 4 months, because last year was a crazy winter. But other than that, it's mostly £80 a month. So if we look at how much that is yearly, so when we were in our 2-bedroom maisonette that we were privately renting, we were paying £40 a month on electric, which is £480 a year. Now we pay £80 a month, which is double. We are paying £960 a year. Obviously, that is double. However, think about the fact that we don't pay council tax. So the money we're saving is effectively going towards electric. What I have done is I've added all of this up. So I've done the calculations and I've added up how much we used to pay a month and a year when we were privately renting a 2-bedroom maisonette, flat, whatever, and how much we now pay a month and a year for living in a Tourer caravan. So when we lived in a 2-bedroom maisonette that we privately rented, we paid £1,055 a month. Now in a Tourer caravan, we only pay £414 a month. There are 2 months when we do have to buy a new gas bottle. That is when we then pay £484. Either way, it's between £400 and £500 a month in the Tourer caravan compared to the £1,055 a month when we lived in a flat. So we are saving £641 a month by living in a Tourer caravan. Obviously, the 2 months where we have to buy a gas bottle, it's less. We're then saving £571 on those months. But for the other 10 months, we're saving £641. Wow, that is absolutely like bizarre, isn't it? That is bonkers. Yearly, when we lived in a 2-bedroom flat that we were privately renting, we were paying £12,660 a year. Now in a Tourer caravan, we only pay £5,108 a year. And that is including the gas bottles on 2 of those months. That's also including the extra electric that we would pay around the winter time. So in a year, we save £7,552 in a year. Wow. So just to summarize and make that quickly, so we pay £334 a month for rent and water. We don't pay council tax. We pay our electric monthly on a meter, like an electric card. It's about £80 a month. And then there's a few months at winter where we pay between £120 to £140, but that's because we have to use the electric heater, so it costs more. Our gas bottle is only £70 and we buy that twice a year, so every 6 months. In a month, we used to pay £1,055. Now in a Tourer caravan, we only pay £414. In a year, we used to pay £12,660. Now in a Tourer caravan, we only pay £5,108. Savings wise, monthly, we save £641 by living in a Tourer caravan. Yearly, we save £7,552 by living in a Tourer caravan. Boom. That is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you now thinking, oh my goodness, I think I should start living in a Tourer caravan? Let me know. Bye.